the Oura Ring worth it with ZEPBOUND weight loss? A comprehensive review for the good, the bad, and the ugly if an Oura Ring is worth it. Hi friends, I'm Elizabeth, Countess of Shopping. I've been grateful to be on Mounjaro and then ZEPBOUND for the last 18 months, having lost a whopping 90 plus pounds, gaining back a ton of muscle, and working towards that 100-pound weight loss goal. And on today's episode, I got so many questions yesterday of my Oura Ring. We had a further conversation in my free ZEPBOUND weight loss encouragement group. And if you're on WEGOVY or semaglutide, tirzepatide, all are welcome. And on today's episode, I have a thorough review of should you waste your time, effort, money, resources on this, or should you heavily invest in it? So let's go dive in. Both pros and cons, you're gonna wanna stay till the end because I'm gonna talk about a comparison also with Fitbit versus Oura Ring 2. Let's dive in. First and foremost, the cost. Doing a deep dive on this, I fully recognize that the price point on this may not be optional for some viewers. And I've got some other resources, which we'll talk about at the end too, of some other resources if this is too much of an investment for you. I do think that wearables for me have been incredibly helpful for my ZEPBOUND weight loss. There's been some things that have not been so helpful that we're gonna talk about too. The cost for the Oura Ring itself, the actual ring right now is on Amazon Prime Day sale. Obviously, if you're watching this after Amazon Prime Day, prices are subject to change on Amazon, but I'll link that in the description link below. The Oura Ring Gen 3 Heritage is right now $299. For Prime Day, the sale price is the Oura Ring Gen 3 Horizon in black, and there's different colors. You can get them in black, gold, silver, rose gold. Is only $282.69, normally priced $349. So that's off of Amazon, and then you have to tack on for the extra cost, the monthly subscription. There's a monthly membership. By the way, you can check for HSA and FSA things too, just FYI on that in terms of buying these. It's $5.99 per month per Oura's website. Obviously, these prices are subject to change from my filming date of when I have the information, but if you bought a year-long subscription. Right now it's $6.99, so let's just call it $70 for the year, but Oura is giving an extra free month, so that's 13 months for about $70 for the year. That comes up to $5.38 per month if you just paid out in full for that 13 months. So in terms of cost, the sizing of these rings. Now, I've lost 90 pounds. And so many of you guys have asked, you've lost a ton of weight. Your body from going from a size 24 pants down to a size 14 pants. You don't wear your wedding rings anymore. And I have my engagement ring, my wedding ring, and my rings for my son and my daughter from when they were born. Those rings, I can't wear because they don't fit anymore. Like literally they fall off my hand. So I need to have a jeweler resize those. My Oura Ring, even with my weight loss, still really fits well. I've never had an issue with it, which is crazy. I don't know if it's because of, you can see those ball sensors on there. There's 3, 1, 2, 3. If those sensors, if it makes it more snug when it's sitting on my hand, if that's why, but sizing has not been an issue. Now on Amazon, you can buy for 10 bucks, and I'll link this also in the description link below, a ring sizer. It's 10 bucks, and then you get, if you end up buying the Oura Ring through Amazon, they will give you back that $10 credit. So there is a ring sizer if you don't know what size ring to wear, or you wanna make it exact, you can get that on Amazon and then just utilize that $10 credit towards your Amazon purchase, or towards your Oura Ring purchase on Amazon. Let's talk about sleep. For me, out of all of the amazing things with wearables, not just the Oura Ring, but if you had a Fitbit or Apple Watch, for me, tracking my sleep, because weight loss is a stressor on the body. And that's why sleep is so important, which is one of the reasons why I'm so anal about my sleep score. Now, and I've talked about this in other videos, I ended up changing out my magnesium. I switched brands. This was before the one particular brand. After I switched over this magnesium, I have a different sleep score, but it's been so helpful to see my sleep scores now. Because if there's an outlier, like yesterday was Prime Day, I did not sleep well. My sleep score was not good. So it's helpful to have these outliers in there, but also knowing what my optimal score is pretty much every day. That is very, very helpful for me too, and to see my bedtime. It tells me through the Oura Ring, which I find so helpful because we need that for our cells to rejuvenate and all of that to help just rest our minds and our bodies. It also reminds me of when my bedtime is. It's like, hey, your ideal bedtime is between 9:15 p.m. and 10:15 p.m. Last night you went to bed at 10:10 p.m. girlfriend, chill it out. And so for me, any other type A people out there, high performance people, high productive people, this does give me some permission to be like, okay, chill it out. And I appreciate that. Like, it's this honest appraisal, and it takes the emotion out of the equation for a lot of my decisions on this weight loss journey that have been very, very helpful. So with that sleep tracker, I highly recommend. That's been incredibly beneficial for me, as is the heart rate monitor. So let's talk about this heart rate monitor. It goes through, and here's what it fully looks like. I'm gonna zoom in so you can see different parts of this. I find this so helpful. It tells you your restorative time on there. Is this today's? Yeah, this is today's heart rate before I started filming. It tells me my stressful period. For me, this was very helpful. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can see my pockets of stress come every single day trying to get my kid out the door, either to school or to camp. For me, this has been an area where I've been working on because I don't want it to be purple anymore. I don't want it to be a stress zone for me. So it's been very helpful for the pattern recognition to be able to see these pockets of restorative health and then a restorative time and stressful time. That's so helpful because then I can change my patterns that are associated with that. Yesterday I had restorative time. Do you want to know what it was? It was when I was talking with my husband, when I was talking with the count. Swoon. Also my restorative time, do you want to know where it is consistently every day? When I'm eating. You know what that tells me? I need to have, for me, you do you, but for me, more prayer meditation time to calm down my restorative time. It kind of makes me sad that my restorative time is eating. And so that tells me I need to continually work on some other healthy habits here besides just food being my restorative time. Sleeping, it goes through, my chair is creaking, by the way. I'm not tooting, I promise. It's just my chair is creaking. Some of you guys are like, oh, she's tooting in her videos. I'm not. This review has no toots, no toots included in today's video. Check tomorrow though. My sleep, it tells me my beats per minute. Very helpful for beats per minute for me too, because my beats continuously were in the 80s and I worked very hard to drop that through more relaxation, trying to have a better bedtime. Like, there's some other strategies I've utilized to help drop the beats per minute. Drop the beat with that. And then also if I had worked out today, that would clearly show up there too. Very, very helpful for me. I really appreciate this heart rate on there for the beats per minute. Now, this does not track blood pressure, just FYI. I know people are going to ask, but it is helpful for me to be able to see how my body's responding. It has a thing called Readiness Score, and that ties into just overall your optimal wellness, which I find very, very helpful, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But going back over to your heart health cardiovascular, it gives you a spectrum on that, and it also tells you your actual age versus your cardiovascular age. And any other type A's or overachievers out there, I'm like, I'm always ahead of the curve. I'm always like, yes, my cardiovascular age is going to be substantially younger than what I actually am. It's actually in line. And to be fair, again, taking an honest appraisal and taking emotion out of the equation on this, on my weight loss journey, which is one of the reasons why it's so helpful, is I was morbidly obese for decades. So why would I think that I would have really good cardiovascular health? I'm working to change that, and that's one of my goals. Is I want so badly for my cardiovascular health to say that I'm a young chickadee in terms of my cardiovascular health. So that is very helpful in terms of the heart health and your heart rate monitor on there. Going back over to this readiness score, also very helpful to tell me when to push and when to pull back. And if you are like me, an overachiever, type A, I have a lot of demands on me, a wife, a mom, a serial entrepreneur, it gives me permission some days just to kind of chill out, but it also gives me permission on some days to put the gas on and really go. So this says optimal, it's my 87 for my optimal score. Some days it will say like, hey, chill out. But today it's like, you did a great job of avoiding excess sedentary time yesterday, breaking up long periods of inactivity, help support your agility and mobility, both important parts of athletic endeavors. It's helpful for me on this weight loss journey to hear these things from a device, a non-emotional device. Very, very helpful to have on there. It's also helpful for me with this is the calories burned. Now you can get this, the calories burned on a ton of other things. Like you can get this on a $50 wearable on Amazon. But I personally find this very helpful for a couple of things. I clearly have had some unhealthy relationship with food, being morbidly obese for decades, and changing that. Here's my calories burned so far for today before I was airing this, 1,821 calories, woohoo. But it also tells me on here too with my, well, let me zoom in so you guys can see my workout. It says activity is good, stay active. Here's my active time, move every hour. How's that going for me? Meet daily goals, and then training frequency. So that's very helpful for me. Now I can plug in my specific workouts, and where I find great help in this with my ZEPBOUND weight loss, and if you're on WEGOVY weight loss or tirzepatide weight loss or whatever, if you're on a GLP-1 weight loss journey, that I found very helpful was the calories burned. I erroneously thought I was burning way more calories in my workout than I actually was. Continuously, this has been the case. And continuously, I've had this reminder like, oh, my calories burned is not what I think it is. So after I come out of Pilates for a 50-minute class, I had started off with walking, and then I moved to wall Pilates, and then from wall Pilates to a reformer class where I actually go to a Pilates in studio class. And honey, I sweat and I work hard. And I leave and I'm like, I only burn flipping 94 calories. Yup. It has been very much an honest appraisal, taking emotion out of that equation of like, that is what I have burned, honestly. And that's so helpful. I need this. I need, in some ways, like this tough love of like a realistic viewpoint. And then the other flip of this coin too is I can know, I track, and I used to have a Weight Watchers membership, stop that now, I do my Fitness Pal. I can take my total calories in versus my calories burned that actually is specifically for me, because I can see throughout the day of this for that particular day. And then I can tell exactly where my calorie deficit is, taking emotion out of the equation for the day. Do that the whole week. That's going to tell me basically how many pounds I should lose per week. We know that a pound of fat lost is 3,500 calories lost in a deficit. And so it's a simple math equation. And that for me has been very helpful, very, very, very helpful of like, oh, no wonder I'm on a weight stall. Now, some of this too is I am building a ton of muscle. And so it may seem I'm at a weight stall, but I'm really not. I'm actually building muscle. And that's weighing more than like flabby fat. It's building actual hardcore muscle. But having this calorie burned component, so helpful. And like I said, you can get these on a ton of other wearables, but having it be so succinct, it tells me how many steps, miles, all of that. You could get that on an Apple Watch or a Fitbit. For me personally, I like that this is waterproof also. I can wear it if I'm swimming as a form of exercise, whereas I think some of the other wearables, you can't wear them in a swimming pool, or they're water resistant where you can be quickly in a shower, but you can't submerge in like a swimming pool. So this is helpful, or I get really sweaty during workouts. I'm a sweater, stage 5. And so sweating with it, it's very helpful to have something that's not gonna, that it's meant to get wet. It's okay if it gets wet. It's waterproof. Stress management. Let's go over to that next component of it. The stress management, very helpful on here to see when my pockets of stressed, engaged, relaxed, and restored. This was on a normal day. On this day, your body didn't experience many high peak stress or restorative moments. A neutral day as far as stress level goes. Does that sound right when you look back? And so it's helpful to go and look back. And that would be what I encourage you to do too, is look back at your stress. You have your restored moments and you have your stressful moments. And for me, always my stressful moments are when I'm filming YouTube videos. I didn't think I got nervous, but apparently like I get, because I really want to make these videos good for you guys. You matter. If you're watching this video, you matter a lot to me, and giving you really good information, I care tremendously about it. So the stressed versus restored, super, super helpful information on there. I noticed my restored information was when I was eating. Like the breaks that I have in there are when I'm having meals. That kind of made me sad. I was like, man, I need to up my spiritual game of like meditation and prayer, and then also being with my family too, of being present with them. It's not relaxing sometimes having to parent or do things to get organized, like for house cleaning and things like that. But it's helpful to see these pockets and threads because of the pattern recognition on there too, which I would highly recommend being able to use these for the pattern recognition for the stress component. Weight loss in general, ZEPBOUND weight loss, WEGOVY weight loss, tirzepatide weight loss, it is a stressor. And so having to be able to really see with my job and my way of lifestyle Stress versus restoration, very, very important. Oura Ring also offers, if you are, now gentlemen, stay with me. We're gonna talk birth control here for a moment, but stay with me if you've got a partner or a daughter or some woman in your life, this is a good thing to know. It tells you for people who are trying to get pregnant, or if you are actively pregnant. If you're actively pregnant, I guess there's another component to it, which sounds cool. The store's closed here on this end, so that doesn't apply to me, but it does tell cycle. When you're getting near your cycle, it will tell you your body temperature, your heat seems raised on your body. That's helpful to know. And you could tie in birth control with all of that too, with period tracking. So I think that that's very helpful information as well. Updated features. One of the things I really like and appreciate about my Oura is that it has on there continuous updates in the actual app. One of them just came out that there's a caffeine tracker to tell you, like, are you taking too much caffeine? Now, sidebar, I knew that. Do you know how I know that? Before, which I've already actively started taking more decaf coffee than regular coffee, is my beats per minute. Is this my beats per minute? Yes, this is, hold on, let me zoom in so you guys can see. My beats per minute, oh shoot, hold on. Lord, give me strength. There we go. It's sleeping. It tells me my beats per minute throughout the day. My beats per minute were continuously in the 80s. I'm like, let me stop drinking 10 million cups of coffee and start having more decaf coffee and see if that changes my beats per minute while I'm sleeping and in general throughout the day. They have this whole caffeine feature that if you did want to cut back on caffeine, if it's affecting your sleep, it may be. That was very helpful I haven't done that yet, but you can. It has on there, and one of the things that I think is really, really important too is Fitbit versus Ouras. For me, Fitbits are not cute when you're trying to look cute sometimes. You can change the band on a Fitbit, but if you're wearing like a fancier outfit, you could change the band, but that's a pain in the butt. Full stop. This is easier to wear with an outfit. I have found that I can just pop on my rings, or it blends in okay. And I typically wear my gold lion ring for my kids, and so I can easily just maneuver those around. My group, my free encouragement group, which I'm obsessed with, I'll also link that in the description link below. We got into this whole conversation yesterday because of Prime Day, and if Prime Day is still going on, you could take advantage of these things. I'm gonna go look. There are things called covers. You can change the color, like the cover on your ring. So you can make them silicone if you want, if you're lifting, or if you just want to change the color. I didn't know you could do that. So if you're like, for example, my black one, I'm like, oh man, you could change colors on it. They do come, by the way, black, silver, rose gold. There's a ton of colors you can get with it. But the Fitbit on there, one versus the Oura, one, it doesn't look cute with outfits sometimes. Two, for me, the silicone band on the Fitbit continuously, and I bought like 5 of them. It continuously gave me rashes. This has been not an issue at all. Also during my sleep, the Fitbit's light on it sometimes would bother me, like if I put my hand over my face while I was sleeping. This does have light on it. It will sometimes turn green or red, and in the dark, it's ever so faint, but it's not like the Fitbit light was, just to give some comparison on there. I find the data way more helpful with the Oura Ring app, and the fact that it's continuously updated with it too, and that it's so small. That is very, very helpful on there as well. So overall, for me, now let's talk some pros and cons. For me, I would buy this again in a heartbeat. Very instrumental of taking emotion out of the equation for my calories burned and all of the other information that I've listed. I'm really, really grateful I had this data to be able to make some of my decisions with it. And for example, just even the stress component, I didn't have that with Fitbit for me. If the price point on this versus the Fitbit or versus other wearables is high. And I get that fully, that some people are not going to be able to afford this, and then the ongoing continuous payments associated with it. Some people are, some people aren't. If you're not, on Amazon, they do have like $50, $60, $70 wearables that may last you a year. They're probably gonna break. But that can tell you your calories burned. It's not gonna go into as much data as this, but it's gonna give you some data. So if you're like straight out of the gate, I can't afford that, this is a great option. You can go on Amazon and look for some of the other wearables that do have tracking on there for your heart-related stuff, and then also sleep too, which I find, not sleep, but calories burned. I find that very helpful. And steps in the given day and things like that. You can see some of your activity with that. Obviously, I want to make things as inclusive as possible here on Countess of Shopping, and so I fully understand the privilege that came with buying this. But there are other wearable options where you're not dropping $300, $350 for the ring. For me, this was an investment in my health. It made sense. I'm a data nerd in general. I wanted to have the customized data for me. It's helpful for me to see, hey, in Pilates, I'm not burning as many calories as I think I am. Or when I'm walking the dog, Mr. Freddy, I'm not burning, like, these unrealistic expectations or over or under expectations. It's been very helpful to be neutral with this. And that would be my encouragement is, if not this, some sort of wearable for you, I recommend the Oura Ring. If you have the means to do so, it has been a fabulous investment in my health, and it's motivating. Now, my husband and I talked about him getting one, and the account's like, no. He had a Fitbit. He learned all the data he needed to know. And he's like, I'm good. I can tell, like, he doesn't have the emotional tie to food as I do and things. Hasn't been morbidly obese. And so for him, it doesn't make sense. Like, so there's pros and cons with this. Like I said, brutally honest, the count would not recommend this. I 100% am like, for my ZEPBOUND weight loss journey, this has been so helpful. Now, if you are OG viewers, you may have recalled I lost this. That would be another reason not to invest in this. If you lose things, I lost mine for months. And you guys can see back in old videos, I'm like, I can't find my Oura Ring. I did lose it. And I also lost the charger for it too. And I also forgot to bring the charger on vacation. So just, if you're absent-minded sometimes in those sense, this may not be a good fit. For me now, it's a non-negotiable. I have a place to easily charge it. The charger, by the way, is an awesome base. I just now plug it into my laptop, and it's really, really easy to charge. The other thing about this versus, I was talking to a girlfriend of mine, and she's like, oh, my Apple Watch, you need to charge it every day. I'm like, this is like every 3 days. It's got a long charge in there. So just something to think of in terms of time. It's not a pain in the butt to charge. It's really, really easy to plop on this thing that it comes with it. The charger comes with it. Very easy to do. And every 3 days, I'll take that. I wish it was longer than that, but I'll take that. So highly recommend, if you're interested in getting one, use the Amazon link down below. If you're watching this on actual Prime Day, obviously prices are subject to change over on Amazon, but a great price point today with the Prime Day. And if you want to join my free encouragement group that I spoke on, that is also listed below. Your accountability question today is, what are you doing today to move you closer to your goals? Tell me down below. I love always seeing everybody's answers. And then 2, your emoji for today is going to be a circle. That is like our bat signal that you made it this far in the video. I want to get to know you better. If you are watching my videos till the end, I care about you. I care about everybody, but I truly do care about you and want to get to know you better. And the pattern recognition of seeing your name pop up video after video is helpful for me to get to know you better too. So, sweet friends, be kind to yourself, be kind to others. I'm Countess of Shopping. Count my blessings, because life sure is delicious. I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. I love you so super much. Make it a powerful day. Bye, guys.